Hello, everybody, and welcome back for episode 13 here on the SMP. In front of me is the post office we worked on last episode, and also this little stable that's right next to it. I really like both of these buildings. I really liked the post office like as soon as I made it, but this one has kind of just slowly grown on me over here. I really like it now. But anyway, we're not working on that today. We're working over back in the rural area because I have a lot of trees that need built. So let's go over here and get started. We're back in the rural area, and believe it or not, there's something special about this patch of grass. Now, what that is kind of random. Okay, so there's this road that goes around the island, right? And it's kind of like in a little bit of a O shape or a circle or whatever. And everything on the outside of the road is pretty much finished, except for that patch of grass. This little area right here is the last bit that needs work done before we move on to the inside of the island. This is the last little bit, which in my mind is pretty special. Maybe not in like real life or anybody else's mind, but it means we're getting closer to being finished. Now, in this patch of grass, there are a couple different factors going on. So there's this kind of pine tree forest that's over here that will need blended in to the rest of the forest that's over here, which includes this kind of little sycamore growth patch. There's these sycamore trees right here that all kind of need their own little space and a little bit of blending in with everything else. It won't be too dense like the pine tree forest is over here, so like just like one or two more trees and a couple little small ones probably will work out fine. Then the pine trees, kind of like blending those in, it might be a little bit more difficult, and blending in these kind of oak trees that we got going on will be kind of a strange little mix, but I think we can handle it as long as we have the resources. And I don't think I have leaves. I think I need leaves. Let's go gather some leaves. You know, I might have collected a bit too many leaves. There's like a whole chest in here. Like, I'm not gonna use all these, I don't think. Maybe eventually, but not anytime soon. We got some azaleas and stuff as well. We're not gonna be using as many of these or other things that we got in other quantities in other places. But we got leaves down, so I think we should probably just go ahead and start making some trees. Well, all the trees are done. There's still some stuff left to do over here, like the kind of podzol and pine cones and grass and flowers and all the kind of detail work that goes in here. And there's also maybe a few little trees like this one over here that I want to kind of sprinkle in. Maybe a couple places, like I think one would work pretty well, like right here. We'll see. But all that needs to be done later because right now I wanted to kind of talk about something that I think this area is a pretty good example of. What exactly is this a good example of? Well, I'll tell you, but it's a bit of a weird explanation. It's long. We're going to start somewhere that's going to make no sense, but it'll make sense eventually once I get there. They'll just have to try and trust me a bit. But anyway, ecoregions. They are a sort of concept, a little bit of an idea that exists, I guess. But they're a little bit hard to explain. They're sort of similar to a biome. But whereas a biome doesn't really get tied to a specific place, ecoregions are tied to specific geographical locations. So, for instance, a biome would be a mountain, but a ecoregion would be a mountain range, a specific mountain range, like the Rocky Mountains, for example. Now, in the United States, which I'm mostly concerned about the United States for this build, at least, in the United States, they're defined by the Environmental Protection Agency, and the Environmental Protection Agency has designated 4 different levels for these ecoregions that are from 1 less specific to 4 more specific. So at level 1 you have pretty broad categories like just eastern forest or Rocky Mountains or things like that. And then for more specific categories, like at level 4 you have very, very local, small little ecoregions, and those are pretty useful. They have actually come in handy multiple times in this build so far. For instance, I have found the ecoregions of a very specific place that I've been trying to emulate the style for, and those are the ecoregions that I've been trying to represent. And using those ecoregions by looking at maps and various things and Wikipedia articles, I have been able to find out the tree densities and populations and different animal species and different things that are common in specific places. That's very useful for what I'm doing, so I'm able to tell kind of the kinds of soil certain trees will like, or what kind of trees are going to be in a general space. So for instance, with the sycamore trees, they tend to like kind of closer to water environments a little bit. They're a little bit more lowland, they're a little bit more moist of soil enjoyers. So I have put them kind of close, at least, to the water towards this edge right here. Now, it's not very consistent throughout the entire build, like I don't have sycamore trees all around the edge or anything like that, but I'm trying to represent different areas, and so doing that, I only have one small spot with sycamore trees in it. This is why I say it's a good example of something. It's a good example of this kind of small scale that I'm working at. There's different things that represent whatever I'm trying to do, but they're not really to scale in any way or make much sense geographically or logically. But they do kind of work together, blend together, look nice, and are meant to represent something interesting and based in reality, which I think is cool. Anyway, we got grass to place. Let's get started. And with that, the loop is finished. The entire outside edge of the island, the entire shoreline. We got all this grass down here, all the little like pine cones and pods all and flowers and stuff. It all looks really nice, but since the shoreline is all done, we can take a boat out here, turn around, and see the whole thing, which I think looks nice. It's nice and complete, you know? But there is a few other angles that I can think of where this might look good from, and one of those is from above. If you remember, in the library we have some maps, and it's been a while since we updated anything, so I figure now might be a good time. I'm in the library now, as you can see, and those are the maps I was talking about above me there. If we look at them, there's quite a bit missing from these maps. There's a whole building that's supposed to be right here, as well as quite a bit of detail work that isn't on that map. There's also a big portion of the rural area that hasn't been mapped out, and even a little bit of area around the spawn island that has been changed over here. So there's quite a bit of work to do, a lot of map to update, but I think it won't take too long, so let's go ahead and get these swapped out. We got all the maps, so let's do a little before and after like we did last time to see all the progress that we've made recently. You can see in this map we have most of the town here, but we're missing the post office and stable right there, and we got it in this map. In this map, in the bottom right corner, there's kind of that patch of trees below the farm, and then in this one you can see there's a bit more green and a bit of other stuff there because we did the undergrowth. In this map we have the little spawn area, and we have a whole path, a little house there, and that bridge up towards the top. This is the big one, the rural area. We've done quite a bit of work here, as you can tell. We have everything on the outside of that loop finished, like we were talking about. which all looks really nice, but you'll notice there's a few little pixels cut off at the bottom there, which is why we have this map as well. That's pretty much it though, so let's put them back up on the map up here, all updated, so we can see them all whenever we're up here enchanting. That's not the right one. There we are, all looking nice. We still have this whole section to do, of course, a little bit up here as well. But then we'll be done with the build, which is a little while away still, but I think we're making good progress. Well, unfortunately, that is all I have time for today. I'm pretty happy with the progress we made today, but there is, of course, always more to be done in a future episode. But thank you guys all for watching, and God bless.